Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. Today we're going to be trying out Fell Bullet Heathcliff. It's an interesting ego, that's for sure. Not fully sure how to feel about it, but its main thing is it's good for Pride Resonance to get a bunch of poise potency. It's bad on count, but you know who's pretty bad with poise potency? Heathcliff, so could work out, right? We're running him fairly logical poise team, you know, half Pequod trio, half blade lineage, focus on being able to fuel what we've got going for us. We should probably just go nebulizer, yeah. I don't know why we wouldn't. It's a little bit good. Okay. This is the stupidest you have to get to start out with. Just classic wound Clarid. We'll upgrade that to ++ at the shop on this floor, I'm sure. Yeah, we're gonna do you. Some of these choices may seem a little odd. Specifically, Blade Lineage Otis might seem like a really weird choice, but her inclusion is simple. She works for Blade Lineage and she's got a Wrath skill 1, and I just want to make sure we've got plenty of Wrath. So Fell Bullet costs 1 Wrath, 3 Pride, 2 Envy, which is something pretty easily fueled by Pequod Trio and, you know, certain other stuff. We can't use it right now, though, because we don't have the resources for it, but we will be able to use it, you know, soonish. Basic idea of it is, it's pretty much just a poise ego that can work decently well, especially if we get nebulizer and stuff like that, which we are getting. It'll be nice. Because, of course, Heathcliff needs to get count somehow. And his only count gain is from his skill 1, and his only potency gain is from his skill 2, but his skill 2's potency is based on bleed on target, which can be a little iffy, especially in normal encounters where it's a little harder to stack bleed on the target, since, you know, you're never necessarily going to go for the person you want to. Wound Clarid ++ makes it a little easier, but we're not trying to make use of his skill 2. Instead, we're going to try using his skill 1, maybe. His skill 1 could be used, but more so just Nebulizer, Pride Res. We're going to want to go for full Pride Res as much as possible. Let's see, what's this? I mean, this is a bit of a debuff for the next fight, but it's also only a little bit of debuff. But yeah. Big Pride Res, do a bunch of damage with the Fell Bullet. It's a 2-coiner. It's a 21 roll. It's a 7 + 7 with 2 coins, so it's pretty cool. 20 sanity costs. Try to stand in a lot of ways. +5. I think it's +5 offense level on its own, so I mean, pretty nice for memory based on resonance. As long as we get a 5 absolute resonance of poise, we get max torn memory. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. And then it means we need 7 poise potency. Because we have Stone Tomb, it gets increased. If we get Stone Tomb upgrade even more, we can get a stupid amount of poise potency from that ego. So that's potentially something to strive for. We'll see. We'll see indeed, but either way. And it just does a bunch of damage. Simple as that. It's only a single target. The corrosion, I think, can hit up to 4 people with a good resonance, I think it is. Similar resonance rules to the Awakening one, but simple enough. Sure. Go for more Pride Resonances, just to keep on triggering the passive. We love the passive, with both the 3 Pride Res passives. But yeah, I'm currently here. I've been awake for like an hour, but I only slept for 2 hours though, because, the Project Moon live stream was this morning, I guess you would say. 4 AM my time, so, little tired. If I seem, I mean, I'm about as tired as normal, really. I'm just a fairly tired person. But yeah, it was really good. It was like an hour long. It was very informal. Just kind of Kim Ji-hoon just talking to us about everything coming this season. He outlined basically everything that's coming this season. There's only like 2 things we aren't like certain on. Like who's getting what this is gonna be, but like otherwise pretty simple. But yeah, I guess just going through everything, week and a half from now, we're getting the Murder on Warp Express event. Chances are next week on Friday, we're going to get a proper trailer for a Warp event. Kind of like what they did for Time Killing Time, right? 2 weeks before they did the like improper one that didn't show off too much but gave a general sense of the vibe. And then a week before is when they did the actual one that showed off what's going on and stuff. So probably something like that. But yeah, for Murder on Warp Express, we're gaining... I think the translation someone did said machine body part fixer, question mark. We don't have an actual name for the IDs yet, but they seem puppeteer-ish in like design, especially Faust wearing like a bunch of red eyes. Thank you. We're gonna do this. We're gonna try shooting. You're weak to pride, and okay, yeah, you're fairly weak to this. I guess you don't have any poise count yet, though. That's right. Yeah, we can't do it this turn. We'll wait then. But where was I? Good question, me. Where was I? Yeah, right. Okay, so we're getting a 3-star for Faust, 2-star for Heathcliff for that. They're probably going to be charge and maybe something else. Potentially they're going to be our unique charge people. They look a little chargy. Maybe they're going to have red charge for all we know. Who knows? I'm not fully sure exactly what they're going to be. And we're also getting a Dimension Shredder Ego for... I thought it was Heathcliff, but like it might have been Otis. I haven't rewatched it. It's... I don't know. I was assuming Heathcliff, but like, I think I saw someone saying it could be Otis, so don't know how much I trust my memory on it. Do something like this. You can be on kill that guy duty. This should work. Fell Bullet should do pretty well here. But yeah, so that's gonna be Warp Event stuff. And then 2 weeks after that, we're getting Earl King, Wild Hunt Heathcliff, who's going to have a bunch of unique mechanics. 3 main things. He's going to be able to mount and dismount his horse. Oh, let's actually watch the ego first and foremost before we talk more. Okay, nice. Okay, and you got tails on that one. That's fine. That's how it goes. Yeah, you did some damage. It's really a fairly underwhelming ego, I'd say, but, you know, it's cool looking. That's the thing. But yeah, so he's going to be able to mount and dismount Dolahan somehow, which is the name of the horse, which sounds real interesting. We'll have to see how they incorporate it. But also, he's going to gain the ability to be able to revive dead allies. I'm assuming it's like an Emerald Throne type thing where like it's maybe a temporary revive or like revives them in like a worse state. Maybe like a lower HP, more damage or something though. Maybe it'll be beneficial to kill your allies for it. I don't know how it's gonna work because they also talk about how they want to do chain battles from now on forwards, which makes it sound like reviving allies wouldn't work because they'd just get replaced by other people unless you needed to like use a skill to revive like the same turn they died or something, which would be awkward to manage. But like it's funny, if it's like the kind of thing where you get benefits for having dead allies get revived, there's a lot of potential for like imagine having like Blade Lineage Merceau, have him just keep on spamming Screw Loose Wall Up so he gets a guaranteed death, and then bam, you've got a revived Blade Lineage Merceau. Assumably, if you played it right, he wouldn't have triggered Unrelenting yet, so he'd have his passive ready. Cool. If he didn't have Unrelenting ready, he'd be able to well, survive, he'd be able to tank a hit no matter what. Speaking of him. Cool. Tank a hit no matter what. And then just, like, do a stupid amount of damage. I don't know, it's some cool potential. And also, they want to give him a Ruinous-style counter. Like, a counter that actually clashes. Kind of a mix between an evade and a counter with the game's logic. Which is a cool idea. I feel like if they're doing that, they should probably create like a new category of defensive skill. Right? Because like we've got block, we've got I think it's called guard, right? We've got guard, we've got evade, we've got counter. Make a new one, make it super rare, call it like parry or something, and make it be like something that actually actively clashes against people who are trying to attack you, like a ruin counter. Sounds like it could be cool. We'll see how that goes. We saw like a little bit of artwork, but it's still definitely not unfinished. It was cool to see some like in progress artwork though. We could see like the blocked outlines for Heathcliff and stuff there, so that'll be cool. But yeah, and then 2 weeks after Earl King, we're getting Purges 4, which is going to be, it's another Lobcore one, of course. It's going to be Violet Noon, which is interesting. That's the big obelisk that fall from the sky and crush anyone it lands on, and it's just kind of rude, but really not that big of a threat as long as you don't get crushed by them. But alongside that, we're getting 2 3-stars, an ego, and 2 announcers, which really seems like a lot. Because we're getting Solemn Lament 3-star for Yisong, we're getting a Red Eyes 3-star for Ryoshu, and then we're getting an unspecified ego. One of the few things we still don't know is happening this season is whatever this ego is going to be, because it's unspecified. I mean, think about it. It's either something for someone who doesn't have anything from Purges. I don't know if it could be a VOV for, like, Sinclair and Mercer, because they've both gotten Purges stuff already. But if it was, like, a Sinclair VOV, like, a Sinclair VOV Solemn Lament would be pretty cool. And it could fit really well. But I don't know, it might be for someone who hasn't gotten anything yet, you know, like... Probably not Heathcliff, because he seems to be getting plenty so far. I don't know if he really needs a Purges ego. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, we're fighting Very Gentleman now. God. So what happens when I'm talking too much and not focused on what I'm doing? That's fine. You are weak to Pride and Pierce. You know what that means. We've got Nebulizer now, so I can pretty safely just Fell Bullet whatever I feel like Fell Bulleting. And it should work pretty well. 5 res, so we're getting the maximum amount of poise potency, and we're getting some Nebulizer poise potency too. Okay, left arm's been staggered. Cool. I guess not staggered, just broken. Are we even gonna get the Fell Bullet out? We're already doing a lot of damage. We should be able to get it out though, yeah. Cool. But yeah, Purges, we're also going to be getting 2 announcers. It's going to be Hod and Philip probably, if I had to guess. Hod's almost guaranteed. I'm pretty sure Kim Ji-yoon basically said it was Hod. Or at least heavily was like, yeah, it's pretty obviously Hod. Okay, Tails on the second coin again. That's rude. I think that kills though, so nice. Something. But yeah, so that'll be fun. 2 weeks after that, we're getting new association. We're getting Deviat 3-star for Rodion. Deviat are like the transport association. They wear like bulky trench coaty things, and they carry these giant like metal weapons. They're like Swiss Army knives the size of cannons. Kind of remind me what Yuna had going on in Ruina, right? Yuna had it in the guitar case. A guitar case that had a bunch of like arms extend or something. But Deviat seemed to hold these like giant transport cases that have like a bunch of weapons that can be stuck out and can be used for a lot of things. One of the little concept artwork things showed a guy just kind of whacking the entire thing at an enemy. But they've also got like extendable Swiss Army knife type things, right? So that's pretty cool. And alongside that, we're apparently getting another Bygone Days Eagle, which is really interesting. And we were told we weren't told who gets the Bygone Days Ego, but we're told the person who gets the Bygone Days Ego is also going to be the person who gets the 3-star from the banner immediately following that one, which is going to be 2 weeks later once again, and it's going to be Zwei West 3-star. No 2-stars. By the way, as far as we know, and I'm pretty sure this is basically guaranteed, the only 2-star we have left this season is Machine Body Part Fixer Heathcliff. We really need to learn the names of those IDs because, like, there might be a better translation someone can do. I'm just going off of the one translation document from... I don't even know who made it. I just got it sent to me. I should probably check. And boss time. Unfortunately, it's a Pierce weak boss. Or it's a Pierce resist boss, I mean, because it's Guido. But the others are neutral. But you can try a corroded Fell Bullet this time. Because this one's a 4 attack weight, especially if we get the Pride res. Let's try it, why not? Live a little. We need to use a little bit of defensive stuff, but it'll be 4 weight. I assume corrosion is still Pierce. I didn't check, but yeah. It is. We get heads, of course. Because we're high sanity, it was kind of guaranteed to happen. And this corrosion form is real interesting. He's got his, you know, ring hanging from, like, the necklace. Which he has in, like, the Ego's, like, Awakening sprite, too. Since it's supposed to be, like, the pendant, right? But he's, like, his head is inside, like, a giant, like, shotgun heart. Like, a heart with a bunch of, like... where it's, like, arteries have been replaced by guns. Which is pretty metal. That's pretty cool. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, Zwei West seems to be like medieval knight type Zwei. Instead of Zweihanders and stuff, they've got, you know, great swords and shields. Finally, Zwei that actually use shields. It's such a... Despite their logo being a shield, we haven't seen any Zwei with shields. I guess Edgar might have had a shield. I don't remember. Edgar had a dog exoskeleton suit. Edgar doesn't really count. I don't think he had a shield, though. I don't remember, though. But yeah, finally, that'll be cool. Because the same person who's getting Zwei West is the person who's getting the Bygone Days Ego, it's probably going to be Dawn, especially because it's going to be the last thing this season. Dawn's probably not going to get another ID, or no, she's not going to get another ID until her seasonal, which is going to be late Season 5. So I think Dawn getting an ID then could make sense. She recently did get a 3-star with, you know, T-Corp, but if she's gonna go a while without getting too much, it might be nice for her to get another one. She's kind of have a lot of 3-stars at that rate, though, but I think that's gonna be natural. But yeah, we get Horseshoe here. We go for potential Lucky Pouch. For more poise silliness. We'll go Dregs to the Manor, I think. Why not? Sounds like it could be a grand old time. Okay, do we want to... Let's get Emerald Ledger ++2, that's nice. Like Beam Plus. That's something. But yeah, now let's see if we can get lucky with a fusion. And by lucky, I mean, we really don't need to get that lucky, huh? Don't we? Because here's the thing. We have Finifugality, and Endorphin Kit is the reward for this floor. So the only Poise 3-star that we could physically get here is Clover, unless Fairy Longlegs is an event on this floor, in which case we're guaranteed to get nothing here. No, we got it, cool. So we fuse these together, we get our guaranteed Tier 4 Lucky Pouch. Oh yeah, we can enhance something else if we wanted to. We could enhance that, actually. That's not actually worth it. Kind of forgot we didn't have the pendant. I assumed we had the pendant because we've been, well, running Fell Bullet, so we've been seeing the pendant plenty. But no, we don't. Oh, no one can pass this. Okay. Let's let Honglu get punched. That's interesting. It's a bit of a high check. We didn't have anyone with anything decent for Gloom or Lust, so it happens. Perversion, sure thing. More resources, make sure we can spam the Ego more. We probably can get away with spamming the Ego more than I have been. We've got Perversion now. We're just getting a lot of the resources of the stuff we need. That's Dead Rabbit's boss, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Simple enough fight. Okay, but also, back to something I was talking about earlier. A lot of my information is based on the live translation, and it was done by @static_panda on Twitter. So yeah, shoutouts to them for their live translation thing. You can probably look them up, you know, if you want to find their translation thingy. It's pretty well done. They're still working on it right now. Because they did like a rough translation, and now I noticed they updated it since the last time I looked at it like half an hour ago. They seem to be doing like a full-on like transcript like in progress so far. They're translating like it line by line, figuring out exactly what he says when and where to get like a super in-depth translation, which is really cool. So yeah, at @static_panda on Twitter. Makes sense that the live stream was only in Korean because, well, it seemed like, I think Kim Ji-yoon probably only had, like, bullet points or something. I don't think he had, like, a script prepared at all. He really didn't act like he had a script prepared. That's for sure. Yeah. It was cool. It was also really funny how he genuinely didn't PowerPoint. I think I mentioned it at the beginning. I think a lot of people thought it was a joke. But later when it showed it was actually PowerPoint, like, yeah. PowerPoint's pretty good for that sort of thing. It really felt like the live stream was, like, an internal presentation, like, for, like, the staff to see, like, what the group was, like, planning on and stuff. Like, one of those kind of boring meeting-y type things. But just live streamed it to everyone. Which seemed pretty cool. Yeah, fortunately, these guys are pretty Pierce resistant. Our team's pretty Pierce heavy, so... Little unfortunate for us, but we can manage, I'm sure. Not that big of a worry. Bleed. 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 I also do know that this team is not made. I wasn't really trying to focus on bleed, so I didn't go for like a boys team. Like we can't get even when you get the ego, we can't actually use Bloody Mist because we only have 3 bleed people. And that was not exactly intentionally, but it was more so intentional that I wasn't bothering. Because, like, the entire purpose of... Okay, you won those, alright. That was kind of sad to watch. The entire purpose of Fell Bullet is to provide poise potency to an ID with whose only poise potency is super bleed reliant, which makes him kind of rough on poise teams. So I didn't want to be too bloisy, but I mean... When you get a wound cleared from your very first node of the run on a team that can really use wound cleared pretty well, it's kind of how it goes. These guys really are not rolling very well at all. There's been 2 times where we go into bad clashes with Merceau, and he still ends up winning them. Much to my chagrin, right? And it's just these 2 left. Pride Resonance, go Burr. Finish him off. Is Dead Rabbit's boss Pierce resist? I don't think so. He doesn't have any physical resistance. He doesn't have any physical weaknesses, so he might not have physical resistances. If anything, he's Pierce resistant, but I think they're only... I don't remember. Oh, plushie. Cool. That's pretty nice. We have a Wuthering Heights Butler fight into a Edgar family Butler fight into a Dead Rabbit's house. Oh no, it's you guys. Oh, it's the normal Dead Rabbit's henchmen. Yeah. These guys are just Pierce, but these aren't like the mirror ones. Or I mean, they still are the mirror ones. Are they? Logically? I don't remember. But either way, they're not the ones that are, like, crazy and, like, mindless. They're not, like, the Wild Hunt-y type ones that have the sin resistances and the like. Claim these guys' bones. Thank you, Merceau. Imagine killing Merceau, reviving him, and then having him do that. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe the revived ideas will only have 1 HP or something. Merceau would be able to get around that because he's got his unrelenting passive thing. I know it isn't called unrelenting, but I'm never gonna not call it unrelenting because like it's unrelenting. Everyone knows it is unrelenting. It's literally just unrelenting, but with a different coat of paint. And by different coat of paint, I mean a near identical coat of paint. It's unrelenting. I guess it requires a pride resonance, so it's not as free as unrelenting, but if you're running Limbus Merceau, you're going to be going for the 3 pride resonance basically every turn. because it's just really good to get the passive going for the other non-unrelenting thing. Is the unrelenting thing is just kind of a bonus. Little bit of safety if you want to go for a really risky yield my flesh. Look at that pride res. Neutral yield my flesh. Okay, that could be funny. We'll see. These guys are weak to slash, so they're like the optimal people to claim the bones of, because their bones will really be claimed. Nice. I guess the thing I'm really surprised about live stream is, like, we didn't see the Dawn Vav. I was really expecting it, but, like, in retrospective, they're saving that for Tokyo Game Show, I'm sure. Tokyo Game Show is probably going to have Dawn Vav and, like, general, like, Kanto 7 teasery things in it, similar to what they did last year for Tokyo Game Show for Kanto 5. But this time for Kanto 7, and probably it'll be, Tokyo Game Show is probably going to be like 2 weeks before Kanto 7 or something, right? Like it's pretty nearby in time, compared to the fact that it was still like month, 2 months away for Season 5. That's alright. Anyways, Dead Rabbit's boss time. It's been a while since I fought him. I feel like I usually just get Josephine when I go for this floor.
오케이, 작전 지역 진입 확인했어.
네, 입감 양호합니다.
Okay. See. I'm also pretty sure, like, this, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure, doesn't Dead Rabbit's boss have a different battle theme? Because this is the Heathcliff question mark battle theme. But I think in Mirror Dungeon they give it to Dead Rabbit's boss, for the sake of the bit, assumably. We want big pride res, but we also want to yield flesh. No, we'll yield flesh next turn. We can wait. Okay, you resist... Oh, you resist all damage types. Okay, well that's fine then. Do we bother with the counter ones? Probably not. I'll just go for Dead Rabbit's. If you kill Dead Rabbit's boss, the minions all die immediately, so it's not the biggest deal. Well, let's see if we can get double heads for once. There we go. 112 damage, pierce resisted, so little unfortunate, but still pretty good. We're not really getting a chance to build a bleed on you because of the clashing, getting rid of all the bleed count, but that'll change shortly, I'm sure. Ish will be able to set up a decent bit of bleed count. Nice. You're blocking. We don't care. Oh, that was an assist attack. Didn't even realize. Nice. Let's actually do this on one of these other guys. Let's do it on this guy. Yeah. That's the wrong ego. Oh, there's a decent chance we stagger. We don't really need the stupid amount of things here. Yeah. How's your poise looking? Pretty good. Cool. We do something like this, probably. Clash you two with random people, yeah. That'll work. Should be a decent Fell Bullet. We don't need poise potency at this point, so I'm not too worried about the pride res. 3 pride res means we're getting 4 torn memories, which is still a decent damage bonus. It's not the maximum, of course, and 7 is the max, but should be pretty good. I think you can kind of tell whether or not it's a heads or tails by like looking at the bottom of the actual coin. Okay, we get the 4 coin, or we get, I mean, the 5 coin relentless stabbing, of course. A little bit of damage. We get to yield our flesh to claim their bones. It's a 3 target. It's hitting everyone except for Dead Rabbit's boss. Well, I mean, that's still really good, because that means it's only Dead Rabbit's boss. We've killed all his minions, like, very brutally. Oh, it's just attack, nice. Only 60% is his attack there, I'm pretty sure, so pretty lucky. And now we can just one-sided him and we'll win. We'll do that for the bit, though. Just in case he does survive these. He resists stuff, but like we're at the point where we've got enough poise and stuff that we're doing a lot of damage, and down he goes. Cool.
현명한 판단이요.
Good stuff. We love gun. Okay, now we've got every poise tier 3 now. Take that though. Want to expend as many poise things as we can, because if we can get clear mirror calm water, would be really funny. Not really feeling any of those. Tangling time is not a bad idea. Do we go for envy? For tearful things? I don't know. Let's go N for envy. Maybe this will work. Well, we'll see which of the bosses we get. Some of them could definitely be better than others. He's resistant to pride, I think, so that's unfortunate. We don't want your skill changes because you're going to be ego spamming. Several tier 4s, but they're the bad ones. So many Heathcliff and Dawn skill changes. Interesting. Ish skill change, I'll give you another harpoon, yeah. Sounds good. Maybe I should have gotten you another skill too, though. Maybe. Not the biggest deal. You... Meow, 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 meow. I love the question mark battle theme. Okay, more dead rabbits. Simple enough.
뭐야? 화이팅이다.
Okay, we're one-siding yield my flesh. I mean, I guess we gotta, since that's your only option this turn. That's fine. If we face anyone who's like Pierce weak, we might just spam the Fell Bullet just for the bit. Like, I guess the issue I have with Fell Bullet, like, looking at it, though, like, it's probably nice in normal fights, because where you don't have EO gifts, because without EO gifts, just poise potency isn't exactly the easiest to build up, although, you know, we've got IDs like these 3 that are all about giving poise to allies, so it's still not the hardest thing in the world. But, like, even with all the damage bonuses it gains and stuff, I still feel like it definitely, like, is out-damaged by his skill 3, right? Severnaut just does a lot of damage. It's a 4 coin, it does a lot of damage against people. Envy Resonance Energy is funny. I don't know, I might be wrong about that. And I guess, like, with Egos you can spam it more often than you can spam in skill 3. That's part of the thing, right? It's an interesting Ego. It's very cool animation-wise. It's a nice tool to have. It's unfortunate pretty much every other Heathcliff ID would prefer AADD. Because AADD... I mean, AADD obviously is goated because Suncliff uses it super well. Basically feels like it was made for Suncliff. And, guess what? It probably was, right? Both Suncliff and Rosebanner Gregor released at the same time as both AADDs. And, was it both? It might not have been, actually. I don't remember. It might have not been both then. We might have gotten one AADD, one Sun Shower. Who knows? Either way, but like both those IDs work really well with their AADDs. Definitely cases of Egos that were basically made for IDs. AD is just nice in general though, because it's strong, right? Passive is good. Blunt Gloom mass attacks are a little too frequent, honestly. That's not really a plus for it. The Corrosion is still single target even at Threadspin 4, which means that the Corrosion can always make use of Before the King and Binds, which is funny. Not really worth it though, because like just body sack Before the King Binds if you really want to use an Ego for Before the King and Binds. Or really, the best option would be to go for a skill 3, even a skill 2 for basically any Heathcliff ID. guess not any Heathcliff ID. She Heathcliff would probably be better off just body sacking. But that's because she Heathcliff is special.
착수.
Slash weak fight into a blunt weak fight. Yeah, we're really not getting a lot that's weak to Pierce here. These guys are resistant to blunt, though, so we'll give it a try. Wrong one, sorry. Fell Bullet, we do that for the big res. And yeah, roll with that.
사활을 건너.
Just do a bunch of damage to one of these guys in particular, just for fun. Okay. Also, good to note,
도망쳐봤자 헛수고다.
does the Stone Tomb only work with normal skills? Does it not work with egos? Because egos should count as skills, logically. But I noticed Stone Tomb isn't multiplying the poise gain from Fell Bullet. So I guess it doesn't work like that. I don't know, I haven't really paid attention to it. There's only a couple egos that gain poise. Definitely some of them, but like I also don't really use many of the poise gaining egos. Because like you got like the blind obsessions, which I do use a fair bit. Rarely I use them for poise though. Especially because they're poise sort of random allies. And not stretching, sorry. And not necessarily poised for Ishmael herself, so it's a little hard to keep track of the poise gain from that one. Good kills though, cool. That totally caught me off guard. And one more fight. We could go for bottom path if we wanted to fight middle guys instead. God, I hope Mirror on 5 has Ricardo. How funny would that be? Probably like only in hard mode, and it would probably be like in its own floor. So, like, I don't really think you should have to fight Ricardo, unless you actively go out of your way to choose the Ricardo. No. Otherwise, it would seem a little rude. Should be an option type thing, right? Once I that yield my flesh, you go. Yeah, you Clash, make sure your Sandy's at max so you're ready for the upcoming fight. Don't really think Fell Bullet's gonna be too good there, but I don't know. Could have tried to find like a more consistent floor for him. Maybe should have just got time killing time. Yawning because I'm tired.
침착한 결과입니다. 칼날이 잘 드네요. 아마
And
그
victory, cool.
공격이 약점이었겠죠?
Now we get our final oh no, we get an event first, that's right. Event, cool. I guess someone can do this, definitely. Yeah, guaranteed pass with Yield My Flesh. Good stuff, first aid kit. Do any good skill changes? We can get you another skill 3, sure. Why not? Let's grab Burning Intellect just because, you know, live a little, right? And nothing else we really need. I could have saved some costs, maybe upgraded something. It's not that big of a deal, though. Let's bench you as well for fun. Get 2 skill slots on Heathcliff. We just need a 5 Pride Res this turn, which is guaranteed to be doable. Yeah. This is the plan. Okay, we're gonna Chains of Others you. Fell Bullet you. And then we're gonna do that. Sure, that works. We might have deal with portals again. That's fine if so. Chains of Others. Merso gets countered. I think he gets staggered by the counter. Which I guess isn't great, but eh. He'll be fine. He'll get better. It's not like we'd be able to yield flesh next turn anyways, because it's portal turn. Either it's portal turn or he's going to be fully staggered. Either way, not exactly a very efficient time for yielding of flesh and claiming of bones. Okay. Didn't do quite enough there. That's fine. We're super resisted in this fight. It's a real rough fight for us, but that's fine. You have some bleed going. That's cool, at least. Oh, that was an assist attack. I didn't even notice it was an assist attack. I thought that was his actual skill, huh? We staggered one arm, but that's not enough, unfortunately. Funny portal turn. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try hitting them a bunch and seeing how well that works for us. We got some strong attacks going this turn, actually. We're probably fine, yeah. Roll with that. We've got a good Sloth attack, good Gluttony attack, good Wrath attack, and we don't have any good Gloom attack. We could have just, like, Egoed or something, potentially, but, like, we can just use non-efficient attacks, and that'll still do a lot. Our skill 3s do so much damage because of Lucky Pouch that, yeah. Easy enough to close all the portals. Okay. We can yield my flesh this, and otherwise fully lean into the bit. I think that's the best play. Do we want full Pride Res? We don't need it. Okay, Relentless Stabbing's probably more fitting for us then. Yeah, only 0.75 to Pride isn't the worst thing, I guess. 0.5 to... Envy is a little worse, but that's fine. Claim Their Bones does a little bit of damage. Just a little. We're hitting this guy a little bit. We're Fell Bulleting this guy a little bit. 15 sanity. Not great, but we got heads on the first coin at least. 50 poise potency. This is the first ego to actually have a benefit to having more than 20 poise, so that's cool. 240 damage. Are you dead to that? Not quite. Okay, cool. He's basically dead, though. Ish finishes the job, I think. And if she doesn't, we've got a 4-coin attack coming for this guy. Sure, a 4-coin attack that does 0.5 damage because it's envy, but it's still a 5-coin attack that does 0.5 damage, but it's still a 5-coin attack. We didn't need it, though. Yeah, he threw to the second most. Yeah, it happens. I was running Merso because, like, he gives poise to allies, and I figured that would fit into the theme, but, he does a lot of damage. Very nice. Good amount of boxes. Still stockpiled. A lot of random things coming this season, so it's nice to have a good bit of boxes stockpiled. I guess the one thing is that if there really is, if the only 2-star left really is the event one, then I don't have a reason to pull this season at all except for Purges, because the 2-star Heathcliff ID from the event is going to be an event reward, right? You need to do the event, you're not even going to pull for it. So, like, I genuinely don't think I'm going to need to spend any tickets until then, because I only pull for 2 stars. And if I get lucky with a 3-star, I roll with it, but if not, then I just continue on. Hadn't defeated 100 enemies yet, that's interesting. Shh. Decent bit of boxes, I'm ready. Decent bit of shards. I guess since we know who's coming, I can kind of check to see like who I've got a decent bit of shards for. Faust, and I've got some. She's getting something. Heathcliff, I don't have too many of because I got Fell Bullet, right? Can't shard Yusong or Ryoshu, Purges stuff. Decent bit of Rodion ready for her Devyat ID, I guess. And then Dawn we don't have a lot of. She's probably the one getting the Spy West, though. If I had to guess. We'll see. I guess it also depends on who's getting the ego for Purges, since there is going to be an ego. Let's see, the people who haven't gotten anything for any Purges yet, once we factor in that these two are getting something for this Purges, the answer is Heathcliff hasn't gotten anything. I guess Kreger hasn't gotten anything. Is it only those two? I guess then there's a pretty decent chance. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a Vav Solemn Lament for Heath or for Sinclair or something like that. Since if these two are the only ones who haven't gotten anything, like, can't really rely on that. I think it's most likely just gonna go to someone who hasn't gotten an ego specifically for Purges yet. So like no Merso, no Ishmael, no Rodion. We'll see though. I'm kind of distracting myself though, but I've just been my brain's been running wild this entire time. I said I slept for 2 hours since the live stream, but I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure I just laid awake the entire time thinking. But that's how it goes. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to what's coming in the future. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!